going forward. Thank you so much for joining me, and congratulations on the win. Now back to our esteemed artists.
Bryce, how are you feeling?
About your painting?
Yeah.
It's going all right. I'm feeling pretty good that I got my apron, you know? I feel like a bit of a
Can you come and help?
chef. Oh, okay.
You have to take your headset off.
Let me out. Let me out.
Jake?
Hello.
You're not happy.
Look, I'm not unhappy.
I feel like
That's a lie.
I've given you lots to work with here. What you need to do is add the texture and the pink.
So you want me to come over
You
now?
can use some of that. Look,
Are we
if you
trading
want.
places?
Yeah, sure. I feel like I've done enough, and I can just have a bit
That's
of a seat.
certainly one way to put it. You have done enough.
I've done a
Wait,
bit.
what am I doing? Weren't you guys
Oh, yeah, you were going to have a task.
I
How
think you
about
should-
you do the flower?
No, because
flower.
I'm doing the hair at the moment, aren't I? I feel like you should do the
You
necklace.
cannot do flower.
I feel like you should do the necklace.
The necklace? Oh, I can do a necklace. Do I have...
So give me this one.
Yeah, you have
Feels
blue.
like famous
What
last
is?
words.
There is paint everywhere.
No, there's paint on both... You have no idea how to paint. You got it on both sides of the... What are these called?
Cushions.
Palette.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
that thing. Yeah.
This is a...
No, yeah, I know I got it on both sides because we're running out of space. You told me I was smart before.
Yeah, and I've reneged immediately, okay?
Okay, that's
What
just
am I
no good.
doing? No.
What am I doing?
Necklace.
So you're doing the necklace,
Yeah.
and Jake, you're doing the texture of the hair.
You've made the color
Yeah.
of this.
Yep.
The exact same color as the background.
That's a completely different blue. You can absolutely tell the hair from the. No, the other. You mean the other blue?
I mean this.
I haven't
whatever
done
this
anything
is.
with that yet. Oh yeah, no, I totally did
I
that.
put
No,
the-
that's totally my fault. Yeah.
the lid
No, I'll cop that 100%, mate. That's a Nick Boy special right there.
I just put the lid in the paint. That's a roughie.
Rookie move.
That's a roughie.
I'm just gonna read out some various things from the chat. Fayray says, Nick, don't stand for that abuse, and I agree. Always for Dragon says, this is what happens when you put an entire tube of paint on the palette.
Agree.
Correct.
Strongly
Amondo.
agree.
Um,
God dang it.
what
can
else
you-
we got here?
Can you get some of that long arm action going so I can get in?
I can't believe they're still painting. Says,
What am I doing?
fake the
This
free
thing.
world.
Well, that's kind of the purpose of the whole show.
It's like the whole bit is we need to Bryce.
I need
please.
some planning. Where is your hair going to start my necklace?
What do you mean?
Like
Yeah, because you got.
know what I mean?
got
I'll
pink
just
hair
paint
going down
over
there.
it if it's in the way.
Oh yeah, smart.
It's
Okay,
layers,
yeah.
Bryce,
Yeah,
layers.
layers. I'm new to this, guys. I haven't been doing this all
Also,
day.
remember that there's a camera behind you, and you need to allow the audience to see what you're painting.
God dang it.
I think that's probably
They're
where.
so needy.
Yeah, I know they are. They're terrible. I wish they weren't here. But
All right.
synthetic milk. That's Delanos just yelled out synthetic milk, and I'll get it to you. Don't you worry about that. Rusty does not want me talking about the teats. No, not anymore.
I just wanted you to talk about butterfly.
Oh, you actually finished that like after we were off camera. I think it's great. I love the little halo you've put around it, the little pink halo. I think it's wonderful.
I'm just super proud.
Yeah,
You know?
you should be proud, mate. I mean, I'm not particularly proud of the location it's in, which is
No.
some would say
It's
it's
definitely
We'll
completely
crop
wrong.
it.
Suboptimal.
We'll
Yeah.
crop it.
Definitely
It's fine.
suboptimal.
Can we crop it? I mean, that's going to involve some cutting tools. I don't think we should. I think maybe if we just paint it the same color as the wall that we hang it on.
Nick, what have
It'll
you
blend
done
in.
here?
It's hair.
Actually, you know what? I feel like there is just too much headroom above it, so it's in the correct spot. It's just that there's more.
There's more
Like,
space.
Look at the painting and then the picture above it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's actually pretty close.
Please never do that, by the way, because these are two... even though they look similar at times, just pretend they're two... This is an artist interpretation of the photo above it.
Yeah. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
the yeah. It's like if the photo above it was LCK,
Where
the
the
painting we're
OPL.
doing is the OPL. That's what the comparison is.
Oh no, there's a blue. Oh,
Delano says the butterfly ain't
can I
bad.
borrow?
What?
Can I borrow your blue
Why do you want my blue?
temporarily for my necklace?
Necklace.
Necklace.
Oh, someone also called you out in chat, Bryce, to say that you're saying melee wrong.
Melee?
I don't know. Well,
Melee range?
I
I
say
just say melee.
Excuse me, when
Melee?
you borrow someone's stuff, you give it back timely fashion.
yeah. Thank you.
What is
Jack.
this guy? We're just doubling it on.
I'm worried about the fact. Oh, that's a massive necklace.
It's a massive necklace.
No, it's like a really fine piece of jewelry.
Yeah,
like.
she upgraded.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's like
She
double
stole
thick.
Rengar's. This is a real bone tooth necklace.
People are just yelling it's melee, which doesn't really help when you read it out.
No. Well, I think it's melee, but I say melee.
Interesting.
I'm just wrong.
That's
but
okay,
I just,
though.
But I just do it. It's like
the
I'm
painting.
committing.
It's wrong, but it's happening, and there's nothing you can do. What do you think about the painting?
Hello? Oh, I need to get in a little bit
No, just
more.
sit here.
But I want to be in it.
There's a camera right
Ah, there we are. This feels good. Remember?
here. But I won't hug you because that's a very nice
Oh,
shirt.
you got painting
Yeah,
on
no,
you.
but let's shake tips.
Tips. You can't tell me that is any better than our one.
No.
There's no way.
Do you know why? Because the same man did the base of both of them.
Oh, it's the poor
No.
craftsman who blames his tools, me being the biggest tool here.
That's not fair. We're both here.
Can I tell you a
What?
secret?
Yeah. I sabotaged it, so ours would always be the best.
Yeah, I heard
what?
that. I
You keep
sabotaged that,
painting.
so ours would continue
So-
to be the best.
I think our conversation to get here was funny though.
In what way?
Like you had to reach out to my secretary and stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, I asked Juice on Twitter if he would come along
red.
and help out, and then you
He's-
said, "Oh, you
he's
need to
given
talk
me
to my
so much hair
secretary,
over
and
here when there
there'll be a
doesn't need to be
contract."
hair.
So we had to go to the HR department too,
yeah,
just in
blah
case.
blah blah. And so I responded in kind and said, "Oh, well, unfortunately, the organization has decided to go in a different direction. We thank you for your interest and best of luck for your future endeavors." And you went, "Oh, okay." And you thought I was serious.
I thought he sacked
And then,
me.
like 4 hours later, I replied and went, "Oh no, that was a joke."
Oh,
Yeah, it's
much
okay.
like the painting.
the painting. Look,
No, it's actually not too bad.
can I just say, this is exactly the same conversation that happened the entire time we were doing our painting until the end when you put the pupils in the eyes and suddenly the whole thing comes together.
Well, you know what I will say too in our defense?
Please.
Is that these guys haven't had pro players come and ruin it yet.
Oh yeah, no. That's just
What do
a
you think
work
Bryce
of
is
art
doing
so
right
far.
now?
What?
Well-
This is very obviously a necklace.
No, but our one was genuinely sabotaged by players. We
It-
got them
it
in,
wa-
and
oh,
then
it
they
was
put their
terrible.
touches on the
Was
nose.
it the nose?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The nose looks worse than mine,
Yep.
and then that's just not
Didn't
good.
Nick say he's already sabotaged it though? Like,
Oh.
can you see that leg?
I,
Like, can
that's
you see
not
that left leg
sabotage.
juice?
That's a man painting under time
Yeah.
duress.
Time duress.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
well,
she's
wait,
been
wait.
working out.
Look at the butterfly. Like, it's very obvious that this was done by a different artist from the rest of the painting.
Stop trying to suck up to your new co-caster.
I mean, you can if you want.
I'm so sorry that he got
was under short time.
15 minutes to do the smallest part of the entire painting
Nick.
with the finest brushes.
Do you reckon this red with this blue is going to make that purple?
Yes.
Absolutely, it will.
I will say, Jake,
And can I just give you a piece of advice? Go ham on the red.
I actually think Jake does have nice technique to the flick of the hair. I've been watching him do it, and he has been.
This
yeah,
stuff?
yeah, He has
Yeah.
been flicking it very nicely.
Yep.
And I think the hair is actually taking some decent shape.
Thank you, Jubes.
There's a person
Do you know-
behind that.
I will
left
just
arm.
say
Yeah.
that I still miss you on this show.
So do I. I mean, not enough to ask you to stay for longer than the allocated 3 minutes we have.
That's
here.
fine. They couldn't afford me for longer than
Fine.
the allocated
Well,
time.
Unfortunately, the productions decided to go in a different direction. Can I ask,
Yep.
how are you enjoying your new life?
Yeah, my new life. It's different. There's lots of different challenges. So I think
Bryce,
no comment.
continue.
No, but challenges challenges when you're a player is can you get your red buff and blue buff?
Yep.
Challenges here is just learning the ropes. Dealing with like managerial things. But I feel like I was equipped because I've done it before with like Sin and stuff like that. And having someone like Sean to like kind of mentor me and lead is real. I'm real lucky in that sense because I get to follow someone that's done it before and is real knowledgeable in the industry.
Was it exciting that you got to buy shirts with
Purple here,
collars?
and it's brown there.
Say that again.
Was it exciting that you got to buy shirts with collars?
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Because you're a professional.
wish there was
Yeah,
some
I
white
wear nice clothes now and stuff,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
And I do I look at myself
Bryce,
a lot
I
in
need
the
a new
mirror.
paintbrush. Give me a new
Do you have
But-
one of those cars where the doors go up?
Not
that
yet,
one with the
but
white
maybe
on it.
after disappearance, I may be able to get it.
Might be able to afford it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
obviously we haven't spent much of the money on, this part of the show. No, well, I'm happy to have you back. I'm very excited. We should probably talk about the next game on the schedule, which is Chiefs versus AV. How do you feel about it?
I think it's going to be a close one. I think Chiefs obviously dealt with us quite well in
Yep.
terms of they executed their comp and stuff like that. But I think they showed lots of vulnerabilities. I think in the opposite direction, AV is quite I wouldn't say reckless, but very aggressive. And I think that Chiefs aren't. So it's like a clash of styles.
Yep.
In which
Wait, Chiefs aren't aggressive?
I think they more execute like a plan. Like if they when they have Rise, they're really happy to just not fight and split and
okay.
split the map and stuff. Whereas AV Aladoric's gonna be flashing a wall and headbutting someone behind the tower and
Yeah.
it doesn't it's not that it doesn't make sense, but it's you don't expect it. That's their aggression. It's they're not scared. What they do in scrims, they'll probably do on stage.
Who are you spicy tipping?
Oh, I'd like to see draft first, but since I can't,
What is that? What is that?
Yeah, I'd
That's
like
not
to see
betting.
draft.
That,
Well-
I'd just like to see most of the outcome before.
I would also like to point out that in no way is Spicy Tips betting,
No,
or do
it's
we
not
endorse
betting.
betting?
No.
It is not betting.
no.
It's more about chilies.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
It's about lemons,
I'm gonna go Chiefs. I'm gonna go Chiefs. I think they beat us. They're gonna get a bit of momentum from it, and they'll do enough to get the job done. But I think it'll be a close game.
We've all been eating lemons, but do you reckon if you're wrong, we should just feed you a chili? I'm getting a lot of nods out of the corner of my eye.
Listen, you know what country I'm from? We eat chilies every day. It doesn't matter. Give me 6 chilies and I'll eat them all.
You're an idiot.
Yep. Yep. Just
Jake, tell him about our culture and heritage.
Absolutely. It is the 100% the correct answer there. dude.
Instead of milk, as a baby, we eat chilies.
Well, it's interesting because I have a whole platform built around the idea of milk distribution. So maybe you'd be interested in hearing about it.
Maybe next year.
Unfortunately, we don't have time. We're going to throw it a draft, which means we're going to throw it to Rusty Empire.
You still coming to lunch on Wednesday?
100% if the furniture's built.
I'll provide
Just
the.
let them talk. Oh,
Just
they're
mute
cut.
him.
My
Yeah, just
mics.
mute him.
Cut off the mics.
Let's talk
We're
about
dead.
draft.
Cool. So this game, honestly, Rusty, before we jump into the bands, is for me like a battle of the pleasant surprises. Like Chiefs and Avant are both a lot higher up the standings than I expected from the start of the split.
Would you say the Chiefs are a pleasant surprise?
I mean, to be 8-3, yeah. I would have guessed they would have lost a couple more games than this.
Yeah, I'd say this. What was a pleasant surprise was how well they started. They're a team that do have good players, though, so you'd expect good things. But I'm sure we can talk about them more as we get into the game, of course. We're already 6 bands deep here.
Yeah, we'll run through them in the lightning round really quick. It's going to be Zillion, Jace, and Olaf off the board for the Chiefs side. Over on Avant, it is Urgot, Scion, and Lucian, which means first pick Alistar coming in for Ayla.
Yeah, Alistar taken off the board. Thresh has been a big priority for both of these teams, it seems, in the past week. I can't get over the fact that that looks like a human, not a knee, on Nico's
Yeah,
left
it's just
side.
like peeking out
Tell
from
me
the back.
that's not a human. Yeah.
We should just put some eyes on it and
Look.
go, that was the intention the entire time. And she's trying to block them from the photo. She's like,
So
And
she's
then-
photobombing.
yeah, no, the person behind is photobomb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't
Yeah.
unsee that. I don't
No,
know
now
how
I can't not see it. It's like a
That looks good,
it's
right?
like a flesh-colored
That
shadow.
was pretty good. That was
Weird.
pretty good.
Of course, we got
Cool.
two
Hey, we got a
picks here.
pike locked in for Aladoric.
we
I
do.
like this.
And that's a
Back
weird
to the
thing, you know, when we had the Thresh discussion just before. Alistar locked in, Thresh was available. You thought maybe this would be what they go towards, but it's the Pike Ezreal, just bot lane instantly locked in here.
This also fits what Juice was talking about. Like, Aladoric is the kind of guy that's just going to, like, flash behind the pit and do something crazy. On a Pike, he can start picking up kills for that. But one thing we hadn't talked about is that the Yasuo was left through again, and that is a very explosive pick. With the final seconds ticking down to combo with the Alistar, it'll be locked in for Claire.
Yeah, and you would have to expect with the Alistar as a first pick that Yasuo is well and truly on the cards for the Chiefs as something they could look towards. Now, it's probably going to go to Claire more than I would say anyone else, but Raze would be the second most likely if I was to pick
That's
from the
true.
Chiefs, and I would put Swiper at dead last in the Yasuo tier list on the Chiefs. He's known as the tank player, of course, but when he does play carries, he has his own pocket picks. So that's the other thing you have to look at when it comes to the Chiefs in the top lane. But they're on blue side this time, so it's less likely as Nocturne is locked in here for the Chiefs. No knock-up synergy between mid lane and jungler, so perhaps another step closer to that bot lane Yasuo.
Possibly. Nocturne can combo in his own way, though. We've seen it giving a lot of teams hard times with the paranoia. On the opposite side, Avant will lock in the Evelyn for Swathe. We hadn't talked about is still in. So we've definitely seen a lot less
Yep.
of Sybil in recent weeks. And
Well, we saw him last week.
saw him last week once, but that was it. Yeah, Swathe has been in twice now this week, and he's on the aggressive jungler that he's known for.
And
Or
I'd
one
say a
of them.
clear sign here from AV with their bans as well as to where they think the Yasuo could be going. Just precautious bans taking the rise away from Claire. Evelyn locked in. Now, think back to yesterday when AV played Legacy. Legacy banned a lot of junglers. They put a lot of priority towards Swathe. And, you know, Evelyn is one of those picks, Karth as well as another. So, always possible. And this time they're going to prioritize that pick. Chiefs now on the opposite side, getting rid of some top laners away from Chippies. May just be going towards a tank, but with Urgot and Scion banned, it does make you wonder where they'll go.
That's very true. With the Jax banned away, Chiefs will have one more chance. See what they target out. A fair amount of AD carries have actually remained on the board, too, if Raze does decide to go for a more traditional route.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, there are so many AD carries still left up and available, and Raze is one of those players that could just go, you know what? I could still just pick the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa Alistar is a good lane. We'll just put Claire on the Yasuo mid. He could even be like, guys, we want to win bot lane harder, so give me something like a Draven, you know? Just go hard, play that laning phase style and control the board, and something that the Chiefs could absolutely look towards. And I mean, the choice is theirs, but the counter pick does belong to AV on the red side. And depending on where they go now with their 4th pick, things may get revealed.
A few seconds, and it looks like Shock will lock in Lysindra. So there's a fair amount of explosive, like, single-target catch damage here on the Avant lineup. It feels like they will be setting up for kind of a pick comp here, Rusty.
It kind of feels that way, yeah. I will say, while we're looking at the Chiefs, hovering the LeBlanc, the place that I want to look is actually top lane. It's very risky to pick a tank in top lane, but the one left that I wanted to bring up was Ornn. And Ornn Yasuo
have knockups.
Is a dangerous composition. That's free backline access from long range as well, extra engage with a Nocturne. LeBlanc is going to be the lock-in, so we get some confirmation here as to where that Yasuo will be going. The Chiefs have to show their top laner now.
That they do. A few more seconds. We'll see what they end up picking here. Most likely for Swiper, would expect something like, I mean, maybe not the Ornn, but like something definitely beefy. That just seems to be how Big Swift plays it out.
He doesn't player as well. He loves
laning
himself
phase.
some Kled. He could just go the Rumble, however, if he wants to.
Yeah. Oh, that's a
Or
little
the
different.
Renekton.
We're on the Renekton. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to lock in the Croc in the top lane. Now he doesn't know what his opponent will be, but they banned the Jax. So they get rid of one of the matchups they didn't want to have with that pick in mind.
Little cheeky hover.
Those hovers could always come
yeah.
true. You never know,
yeah,
actually.
not with the Avant. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, I don't even question it. But are we really going to have a couple of lane bullies, a couple of bruisers up in the top lane? We will. It is a Fiora for Chippies to match the Renekton of Swiper.
Yeah, fighting fire with fire in that top lane. Chippies and Swiper, old school matchup with some old school champions, and this will be a super exciting 1v1 to watch. Can Swiper control the early game? Because that's what you would expect. And the Chiefs as a composition, they've got a lot of strength from front to back, from start to finish in a game like this as well. Their scaling is really good, but there's not a lot of range in their composition. And so they'll be playing into the wheelhouse of AV, but that's where the execution, the finesse, the outplay has to be considered here, because that's what the Chiefs have a lot of, and that's what you have to look at. You know, AV, they've got invisibility, they've got burst, they've got assassination as well, but they don't really have pure engage. You mentioned it already, Pirate's probably going to be pick. Chiefs can dodge a lot of that pick. They've got Wind Wall, Alistar ultimate as well to break out a CC, LeBlanc, mobility, Nocturne, Spell Shield.
Yeah.
Like, when you go down the line of the Chiefs composition, there's a lot there to prevent AV from getting anything done. And I'm a big fan of the Chiefs composition here.
Well, we definitely got your vote on that one. We'll see how it all shakes out between these two teams. I mean, there's just so many like iconic picks, so many big champions that can step up and have a presence, and like we will get some epic battles, whether they're one-on-ones or 5v5s or anything. I feel like this is like one of those games where before it's over, everyone is just going to be exhausted.
Mental
In a good way.
Yeah, yeah.
In a good way, I think.
I mean, there's absolutely, I would say, a lot of skill matchups in this game. So there's a lot of execution-based plays, but also there's a lot of macro. And I would say the Chiefs have very good setup and good vision. So perhaps they could actually have the advantage in starting those plays.
Yeah, and joining us for the electrifying battle will, of course, be Volt from the Chiefs. Welcome to the desk.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome stuff. So let's just straight up go into the draft. I mean, there are so many power picks here, but it's not like a, air quotes, Yasuo comp. Can you talk to me a little bit about the decision-making that went into how you guys ended up with the champions you did?
So Yasuo is a power pick. It's been shown like priority around the world, especially in Korea, and we like it as a team. It's a good flex pick as well. And Yasuo Ali is honestly by itself enough setup for Yasuo.
Yeah, absolutely. And they say good Yasuos don't need setup, right, Volt?
Exactly right, yeah.
No, and towards the composition as well, you know, you've got that strong bottom lane that you highlight, and it's actually been a flex of the Yasuo. Do you believe he's strong enough just in 3 lanes in general as a power pick, or is it just the champion itself in the right hands and raises the right hands for it?
It's certainly a hands thing because like Yasuo is a very hard to execute, hard mechanical champion. He's not easy to play, so you do need to be well practiced on it. But it's also just like a power pick right now, especially with like the crit item changes. Everything's sort of leaning in his favor in this meta.
That's fair. And there's also been an interesting choice in this top lane because I usually don't think of Swiper as the kind of guy who's going to try to lane bully. But you picked the Renekton, and it was a blind pick as well. Yep. Were you expecting this matchup of like 2 bruisers up against one another?
I was expecting Chippies to pick something like this, yeah. I didn't think he'd opt into like a tank or something, or like a mage. It's not really a Chippies style. But Renekton is, I mean, Swiper's been around since, you know, Season 1. And Renekton's been meta for like the first 3 years.
We've got an early fight here. This is already starting out pretty high feel. Looks like we're going to force some flashes on the Avant side. And I think we might have a first blood pretty quickly. It just depends on whose it's going to be. No! I jinxed it, Rusty! Okay, I guess with that, we'll officially cut the interview. Thank you so much, Volt, and best of luck to the team.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I wouldn't know where to go from that. There was too much to process in
We
what
just
happened.
ask him
at the
to
early
break it
stage,
down,
yeah.
you know? Like, hey, well, how about that fight?
But tell me a little bit more about. No, of course, we're going to just go back to the game now, see what's at stake. Level 1. That is, I'm going to say, one of the riskiest invades of all time, going in late invading against an Alistar and a Yasuo. Yasuo starting Q, of course, will always have the Tornado available. And going into a choke point like that when Alistar can hit the Flash Pulverize, I mean, that's a dangerous game, but they survive. Now we need to take stock of the summoners that were used, because in that, every summoner was used by the Chiefs in the 3v3, and only the Flash remains for Alidoric on the Pike from AV's side. So that's a lot that you would say expended. As Swaith's just going for a walkthrough.
Yeah. Claire, not one of those champions that burned all of his summoners early on. So he'll be perfectly happy.
No, that's just a tour of the mid lane, given how you're going, of course. It looks like he wants to go from scuttle to scuttle more than anything else, Sway. So trying to control the middle of the map away from the Nocturne, catching him recalling. I think a ward spotted him, or he just knew he was at his crux. Cool. It is cool.
Yeah. I didn't really have anything else I had to add there. You just summed it right up, Rusty.
That's what I do, G.
That is definitely true. But yeah, so a lot of, you mentioned skill matchups kind of being a big thing in this game. Like last game, we actually had like a lot of kind of explosive solo kills. Do you expect the same thing to start coming out here?
I mean, I would say that compositionally that is very much expected, right? First of all, you got Renekton against a Fiora in top lane. There's a lot of skill and mechanics involved in the lane itself. You have to be able to riposte the stun more than anything else, but there's also a chance that you just start being cocky and try and riposte the heal from the Q or something like that. You never know. So yes, skill matchup in the top lane. Expectations are that it could get pretty heavy with kills, but same thing applies for a fight-heavy bottom lane. Same thing applies for the whole map when there's no summoners through junglers and bot lane, you know? Like, the answer to that question is that it should be yes if teams are looking, if they're playing to get a lead, not playing to just not lose with the disadvantages they have.
Yeah, and they might have been tempered just a little bit after that invade. That was like the shenanigans early on, and ever since then it's been fairly standard. You do see up top, Swaith has actually come through, but he's standing way far back, not looking for a lane gank, and Swiper had already backed off of lane.
It does give absolute control, however, what transpired through the early stages towards the Chiefs in the 2v2. More health was lost by AV overall, and that's a very important thing, obviously, for the state of the lane. So stuck under turret is Gunkrab and Alidoric, and you'll see Only trying to take his opportunity now to move to the bottom side where he has priority. May even find himself an Evelyn going towards camps.
I think he will.
No flashes, keep that in mind, and a lethal tempo Nocturne has the damage.
And he's going to go through, wait for the Wolves to already be
Claire's
started. At the very
here.
least, he'll be able to steal a little bit of them away. So is Shock. Here we go, scattering the weak onto the LeBlanc. They got the Charm out, and they're going for it, trying to get that 1-2 punch combo, and they will claim first blood. Only refreshes his red buff.
And Ayla even nearby, again, that bottom lane priority, just in case Shock decided to go forwards and get the kill. It is a hard life being an Evelyn without a flash early into the game. That's usually your enabling tool to make plays happen, and suddenly the Chiefs, they do get what they're after.
One kill up already. Small gold advantages. Claire getting chased down. That was the wrong Claire, though. Shock was on top of the Mimic LeBlanc.
It was on the right one.
No, I think that was the wrong.
He absolutely...
It's swapped over.
Well, the wrong one just recalled then.
Okay. Then I got debated.
Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
Spectator bugs.
anymore.
I'm gonna call it spectator
Oh.
bugs, Rusty. No, it looked like he had it, and then like it went back. I don't know.
You've made me second guess
Yeah,
myself.
yeah, I won't anymore. We'll just leave it at that.
Come get the cannon. Oh.
Shock is at a pretty big CS advantage, though.
Yeah, he is, and it's a lot of its time expended, first of all, by Claire going for that roam. Syndra does have a lot of push, of course, in that mid lane 1v1. LeBlanc goes for kill threat. We saw this yesterday with Swiffer, I believe it was, playing the LeBlanc.
Pike and Evelyn coming through. Ayla and Raze know something is up. And Windwall knocked away. The charm was on. They actually turn around in the 2v3 because they know Only is here as well. Exhaust onto Raze.
Only
as
on.
Swaith gets knocked back. Still no flash on that Eve. And Raze will claim one.
And maybe 3 seconds away from the flash being up and ready for Swaith as well. Just gets headbutted towards his team. Exhaust was there to lock him down from Raze. And the Chiefs now 2-0 with a kill on their jungler and a kill on their Yasuo. Things starting to really heat up for the
I feel
blue
like
side.
Avant didn't have to go for that with the timing on the flash, still not in the favor of Avant.
No, but I mean, the logic is there for the opposite. The timing's not there for their opponents, so that's what they're looking for. It's the window of opportunity they were trying to find. At the end of the day, the AV boys get punished for it, but that's exactly what Volt said as well coming into this, and exactly what Juve said when discussing the teams. You know, one's the aggressor, one's unpredictable and crazy. The other one tries to be more calculated, more methodical, and you can see that through gank and counter gank.
So far, all in the Chiefs' favor. Built up to a little shy of 1,000 gold lead here in this game. Much more reflected in those kills than it is any significant CS difference. Up in the top, it's been one of the quieter lanes, actually. Swiper has built up a lead over Chippies.
Yeah, CS lead. I'd say that's actually pretty much just playing as per the lane would dictate. When you look at the early champions, their strengths and their timings in the game of when they are strong. Chippy's probably one complete item, gets him closer to being able to just outright win. 2, you would say, is very much in that realm. And 3 is, what are you going to do but team fight then as the Renekton?
It does feel like neither team is going to be as keen on like a 5v5, but they will
Level
combo
6.
for some of these skirmishes on the level 6, only going in, grabbing Gun Crab. They tried to shuffle some aggro, but Ayla does fall, and Alidoric gets it. He's going to go wrap around, but Claire will soon meet him. Not a lot of places for a Pyke to go. Only question is who gets it. It's Claire.
Yeah, and they're able to give the kill over to the mid laner of the Chiefs as well. He takes the time, he makes the effort to come down to the bottom lane, and so they do give that over to the LeBlanc. Good play once again from the Chiefs. Tragically for Ayla, he dies, tanking the turret, just one too many shots. Still had his flash available, so a chance that he could have survived, maybe just some miscalculations, but that's all AV get from that is a trade kill.
Yeah, so far we do see a lot of these skirmishes just continually coming through, and I wonder if that's just not going to be like the state of the game for a long time. Like, both teams don't necessarily have to go for the 5v5 strat.
The difference is going to be through the junglers, however. This Nocturne is a powerhouse. 202 right now, has the free boots. Swaith very much behind, not even close to his jungle item. Hasn't got the free boots, had to expend money towards that, and is just super behind.
Evelyn could be a bit feast and famine too right now.
But
Let's see if they make the play up towards the top. Swiper, he slices, he dices. He's out of there.
It's going to be okay. Lots of mobility. Chippies is trying really hard to force with a bait here. They really want to commit to something.
Yeah, they will. Okay, Swiper throws on the dominance. There's the parry. He flashes away, does not waste any time. However, Ayla's coming back in. Looks for a knockup, not finding it just yet, still hanging on. He will get the combo. They do look for Alidoric. Chippy trying to limp away, and Claire has even joined the fray up top, looking for 2 kills, finds 1, going for the second, but he is going to get chunked out. No, that's the wrong LeBlanc again.
Yep, the real LeBlanc still running away. AV now on the hunt. Swaith does have the ult, so he can disengage, and Syndra being in the area does provide a little bit of extra control, but still the Chiefs, they get the kills. They're starting to get further and further ahead, and it really does, at 9 minutes, start to push them perhaps out of reach. As only has been found.
Smite down, dodge, nice. Doesn't have to use it, turns on the darkness once again. They look for the Evelyn with the last caress. Still trying to limp out, flashing away only with the chase, flashes in kind. And now Shock's caught on the wrong side of the map. He's going to be forced to burn his flash as well. Things are going sideways for Avant, Rusty.
Yeah, it's almost a feeling of desperation at 10 minutes, which is very awkward coming out of the team. It's odd. You know, Evelyn is the one who is behind. They're forcing rotations from Alidoric as well, gets the boots of mobility and just plops himself on over the other side of the map. Even if there was no kill threat on the Renekton, they still go to that area. And it does feel like danger stations have been really thrown into high alert here. They want to force something back in their favor, and it's just the opposite that happens because the Chiefs can just counter gank from start to finish at this position, get more and more kills, and you know, it hasn't resulted in an objective, but they don't need that.
No. They're perfectly happy just building the gold lead, and you know, they've also been able to pick up quite a lot of wards off the back of this one, so as soon as they start roving around that map, they can pick up even more control on it. Ray's going forward, looks for Gun Crab, just straight up 1v2ing because he knows Ayla's in his pocket.
He's super far ahead, 1-0-2. He's also got the level lead as well. Level 5 is Alidoric. No execute for the Pyke, so they're struggling in the bottom lane. It's going to stay that way, and it has since level 1. And that really is the big story for me in this game. An aggressive overreach from AV at level 1 into the Chiefs jungle that was punished, causes a lot of health differences, and the Nocturne thrived where the Evelyn did not. The bot lane thrived where Guncrab and Alidoric did not.
Yeah, and you talked about how Chiefs like have all these great tools, but one thing that they lack is range. It hasn't been a problem because Avant just keeps stepping too close. Once again, Guncrab chunked almost down to 0. Two-shot barrage will come in, clip onto all 3. It really doesn't do much but tickle him right now, and that'll start the Dragon off.
Doesn't phase them in the least. They're going to be able to just take the objective. Yasuo is still pushing bot lane at the same time, and no health means that they're going to have to recall. This may well just become a very one-sided game in favor of the Chiefs if it continues on this trajectory, because the objectives are starting to drop.
Turret plating, not fallen yet. We still have 2 minutes before that'll happen, and Chiefs are just soaking up gold right now. Swiper's even been able to easily defend 1v2. Chiefs just have it in spades in this early game.
They certainly do, of course. But I don't think it'll slow down anytime soon for the Chiefs. This recall from Raze will most likely be his completed Phantom Dancer. Even though he's gone for the Berserker Greaves, you know, the amount of turret plating that he got well and truly makes up for that. He's even able to clear one more wave safely before they get back here and try and catch it. And they'll most likely just swap lanes, go towards top side, while Ezreal catches that wave. So the Chiefs doing a lot of good things. Swaith does get an objective, so he forces a trade. It doesn't feel good, though.
Ooh, they are going to delete Claire off the map. That is a pretty big shutdown for Shock right now. And Avant really needed it.
Absolutely. The one thing that they need to use right now is the fact that Nocturne and LeBlanc had those shutdowns. They'll get one. Now they look towards Only and say, you are next in line, bud. We try and shut you down. Extra 600 gold in the pockets will do wonders.
That's been one of the more interesting changes of League of Legends from this season to last, that you just kind of paint a big target on your head for doing well.
Well, it's that League of Legends now designates the targets as well.
Yeah.
It's not just that you have one, it's that everyone sees you have one. And, you know, whether you like it or not, that's the way that the game is currently. And it means that people can change their strategies accordingly as plays and counterplays around it.
Yes, indeed. Very
Which
holistic.
I find kind of funny. Like, if you're a Fed Nocturne, someone may, like, just decide, I'm not going to die anymore. I don't want to give them 1,000 gold. But then you're not playing like a Nocturne potentially could. You know?
Yeah, you have to factor that into your decision making, right?
And it's like when you look at competitive League of Legends, there are people who actually play with nameplates on or people who play with nameplates off.
There's people who play with sound off, too.
Well, yeah, because it changes the way you play, perhaps the way you think, perhaps the way you communicate. You know, all those things are aspects of the game that you'd have to keep in mind. So nameplates may be off, but your bounty now just shows up every time you press tab above your head. That could actually play to the subconscious of some people.
Yeah, I reckon you've got something there for sure. But speaking of playing to the subconscious, how about a 3-0 Nocturne in general? Roving around the map where he will with Paranoia on. You can see Chiefs have grabbed a lot of map control inside the Avant top jungle. Shock is up here solo clearing waves, but he is, as they say, very diveable.
Yeah, he has an Evelynn nearby. They're very clearly aware of the fact that he is, as they say, very diveable. Blue buff is the current primary objective, however, for the Chiefs. Yep. And the Yasuo and Alistar have switched towards the mid lane. You would expect that they go towards top and go for that outer turret, but they've planted their feet down in mid. Perhaps a bit more priority in that they can move around and just be a pivoting team. And, you know, you could expect that Claire has the teleport, but it's the Ignite this time around, so he's not going to join the parties.
Swaith and Alidoric are both up here, so Avant really trying to make a strong play on the top side of the map. Claire is playing very safe, very far back. There's the Scout of the Week, but he's already under tower.
Just a good chunk. If he tries to clear waves, if he uses his distortion to clear minions, there's a chance that they look.
Here he is. And he steps back, but gets pulled in once again. Exhaust looking for Claire. Right again. They get it, and Swaith claims another kill.
And that was so sick from Alidoric, though. Predicts the return back to the distort, flashes forwards and locks him down. It's a lot of effort, however, that goes towards the kill. Chiefs may try and trade on the bot side, but note that the Herald was there. So that's a big shift in control on the map that gives something to AV where they felt like they had nothing.
It was a great setup, too, and it was a methodical setup. It wasn't the crazy, impulsive, let's go for it. They planned their attack. They predicted the positioning. And there's still no answer because only now does Claire respawn. He doesn't have teleport on the LeBlanc. He's playing Ignite. So they might be able to get a little bit more than that second charge off of it. In fact, Shelly's still dishing damage.
Yeah, it's a cannon wave that's getting hit first as well, not Shelly. So she's feeling real happy about herself. Of course, we'll go down right now.
Yeah. Claire, though, that's a consolation prize. So great job for Avant opening that one up. Still have a lot more work to do if they want to close this gap with Chiefs. But that was a great proactive play.
The gold hasn't grown, you know, wildly out of control by any means at this stage of the game. It's the Chiefs still very far ahead, particularly through the jungle. But there are still items coming across on the board. It looks like it's going to be a Guardian Angel rush here from Only.
He doesn't want to die.
That is a very... I like the Guardian Angel decision, first of all, because he is ahead enough to afford one. But the good and bad thing of the Guardian Angel is that you're ahead, and if you die, if by some chance you do go down, now the item isn't as effective as it was. So that's just worth considering. Of course, it's not likely that he dies with how far ahead he actually is.
I reckon if you go fishing, even with the spear, you probably don't want to hook an alligator. Just as a thought.
I'm going to give you a solid yes on that one.
Appreciate it. Or croc. Is he an alligator or a croc? I actually never know.
There's two different ones. I think he's a croc.
Yeah. Oh! Ooh! Claire almost gets chunked a third time. That was a big unleashed power from Shock. He's starting to feel himself a little bit more in this game.
He definitely is. 101 with a completed item as well, so he has that in advantage.
Oh, there was there, but who was baiting who this time? They turn their attention over to the Syndra. Goes golden flashing barrier on the charm. Second wind as Alador comes through. They get the shutdown onto Only, and he had not completed his Guardian Angel just yet. That is a big bounty claimed by Avant.
Yeah, and doesn't get the stopwatch off either, so really nice pick once again. Look at the difference in gold as it shifted.
Claire's caught.
Oh, Swaith
He's stuck between two. That's another charm. Fantastic play, and Swaith all of a sudden is 3 kills up.
And that's just Evelyn things for you, right? This game has just turned on a dime, and we're actually back to even gold at 18 minutes. That is absurd. That's not something you would expect to see. The Chiefs are so good with a lead. They've always been methodical. They've always been able to set up. But perhaps Raze on not an AD carry has changed the dynamic, perhaps changed the way they're thinking. Either way, you have to say AV have done very well to get it back.
They certainly have. And it's been through calculated plays as well. They've made a couple of snap decisions, but they've set up for those decisions very well. Chiefs, I feel like, might be scrambling to see what they need to do next. As you pointed out, the gold lead pretty close.
Can we switch to the gold as well? Because I'd like to see particularly where those differences are. I suspected that Raze would be super far ahead, and he is.
Look at Shock, though.
Yeah, it's mid lane that is really the difference. Look at the CS values in mid as well when you look at the gold. That is a big reflection on the state of mid lane. But Raze is humongous, and if he gets to 2 items, which he just completes, that guy can 1v9 with an Alistar to set you up. So I guess 1v8. Maybe 1v8.
Gives a little bit of leeway.
Feeling generous.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, what technically, if his other teammates don't even go, then it's just a
2v5.
It's just
2v5.
Yeah.
Cool.
It doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, it doesn't.
To be fair. Well, we'll see if that happens. I mean, that is always a threat that Avant will have to deal with.
And he's the next bounty in line, of course.
He is. Been building that one up.
Just
one kill early in the game.
list.
Well, yeah. I don't think that Only will not be able to stack that one back up, or Claire, but they've been picked on.
Well, Claire probably won't be able to stack that bounty back up unless they get a team fight. Like, if we're speaking strictly about getting bounties, like... The other place that we need to actually quickly touch on, because we won't see it for a little while, but it will perpetually exist, is the top laners. Of course, we're in Australian lanes. So actually, we're not. We're just really weird lanes. But our top laners are on the bottom side of the map. And we're getting closer to 2 items. And we highlighted at 1. A bit more control comes back to Chippies. But Swiper's still doing very well handling him. Of course, no turret makes life very difficult. Being against a Nocturne makes life very difficult. Of course, he has the Guardian Angel done.
He does have the parry, and he also has Swaith, who's picked things back up. But Swaith is on the opposite side of the map now. So is everybody else, pretty much. So our top laners are kind of a little alone on the island. Nice true shot barrage. Landing 2. And Chiefs are really hanging out in this river right now.
This
but Swaith
Nocturne
and Shock are coming
is
in.
on vision. He has been spotted. He wants to scuttle, it feels like. He's going to get it on spawn.
Swaith waiting right behind him.
Swaith just being an invisible player.
Chiefs think they're being sneaky, but it's Avant.
The battle of the sneaky deaky likes. But Chiefs still have vision control.
That's true.
They have so much vision control.
Ooh,
right
sweet.
now, what AV have is an invisible champion being a moving ward right now to keep control. And that single ward just above the Baron that you're looking at right now. That's all AV have. Chiefs controlling the red side jungle almost entirely. And they're about to control Guncrab's health bar.
Claire's going to be taking the slow path for this, actually. Just gets a tiny bit of chip damage.
Yeah, prioritizes the minions.
Yeah. I wasn't entirely sure if you saw them at the moment. Up in the top, there's going to be a 2-man push-up. Shock will try to push this away with a couple of balls.
I thought it would be indefensible as well, but they're able to hold it off. Ezreal, just in case they went for something aggressive, I suppose, as a deterrent. Nevertheless, the top lane turret is an inevitable fate that it will fall down. The Chiefs will be able to get this objective. It just feels like a matter of when, and it should be this wave.
Not going to be a whole lot of answer from Avant here. They're actually just trying to make sure they can secure as much vision back for themselves inside their own jungle, because despite the fact that Avant did pull it back, Chiefs still have the tempo advantage. Chiefs are still able to push the waves. You can see, though, Alidoric is wrapped around here. I wasn't sure if they were going to try to go for a play, but Chiefs are sticking very thick together.
It's a very fundamental conversation about League of Legends, actually. You know, the way that the Chiefs play has been classified as methodical. It was probably just me that said it a few times now, but
it has been classified as methodical.
That is what I am calling them. Whereas AV are cheating vision and those methodical steps. You know, like picking a Pyke with invisibility, picking an Evelynn with invisibility, having an Ezreal ultimate. Like, these things are ways to skip steps in like placing wards or setting up for objectives, and this has always been spoken about for Baron setup. You know, you see the long-winded dances that people have for vision control around Baron itself. You can do that without the Baron when you have the composition AV has, but you never want to face Chiefs in a 5v5 front to back and let them start it off with you. So every time you skip a step, you take a risk. And those risks can get punished. That's the scary thing about this game.
And neither team really wants to make the risk at the moment. It has been a bit of a lull in the action after there were quite a lot of back and forth skirmishes. The most recent ones really being in Avant's favor. Swiper will find Chippies. A little 1v1, but the Croc is a little lower on that health bar. There goes the Grand Challenge. Alidoric coming through. Swiper says, hey, this is 2-on-1, not fair. I'm going to even the odds under the tower right now as Alidoric is tanking shots. Swiper is actually able to dance out of it.
They could actually even look at the Baron if the Yasuo was there to hit it, but stopping the recall. The dive is still on here. The stun's available for Swiper.
He's going to go for it right now, and there's one slice, one dice, and it looks like under tower they will get the kill, juggling the aggro.
Oh.
But the Baron's been started already by Chiefs.
They survive bottom, but so much time. 6,000 health, now 5 is the Baron.
Ooh,
but between a Nocturne and a Yasuo, they're not tanky enough as they're engaging.
And Raze goes in, they 1-2-3 punch him, and Shock goes down to the combination. Only was a little bit too low to get involved in that, but the tower does fall down towards the bottom side. Chippies, after the kill, was able to return with the minion wave.
That flash was just super clean from Ayla as well. So unexpected from Shock, it seems. Both summoners available and a stopwatch. Now Azonia's, of course, available. Could not counter the play. Just did so much work so quickly. They get the kill. They force something back. And they still keep control of the Baron River area.
So really, a lot of back and forth there. Chiefs hanging on to this gold lead, but it is so slim. It's 800.
You can feel how tense this game starts to become if Fiora gets that kill bottom lane, which she just barely got with Alidoric being down there. Now it's a Trinity Force. Now it's 2 big items done for a Fiora, and the map starts to really shift in its dynamic. The Chiefs, they can side lane if they want. It's a Yasuo, you know, he is huge, and there's a chance they put the Yasuo against Fiora and just try and take a skill matchup. It's possible, but there's no sustain for this Yasuo. He's gone for the team fighting build, so I'd say it's highly unlikely, which means that the Chiefs will be using the Hex Flash, will be using the Yasuo combo, and they'll just turn off the light switch before they do it with a Nocturne, so you don't know if it's going onto you, and you cannot counter it. That is a brilliant combo that the Chiefs have put together, and you'd expect to see that's how they execute in the coming moments after they get the vision control, which they have.
And Avant know that this is the threat, so they're not going to be taking any rash action.
Been hit.
Chiefs that start out on the Baron once again. Everybody's here but Chippies, and he has a teleport. Big scout of the week right now.
They want to
Chiefs
force
are
the
keep
teleport.
Going.
The Chiefs' health bars
This
do
might be
start
up for
to
grabs.
get low. Keep your eyes on Swaith if Chiefs choose to finish this one. He has the flash.
Yeah, it looks like Claire was going for Alidoric. Got a deletion off of the tower, is going to be there, and into the darkness they go.
They get
It's
it.
stolen away by Swaith, but let's see if Avant can get away with it too. Guardian Angel, Swaith is going to go golden. Claire and Ayla getting chunked out under fire. There is the shutdown, but it's matched on the opposite side. Both junglers are falling, and Claire is trying to limp away from the fight. Meanwhile, Chippy's never teleported.
And he's still pushing bottom. Look at the bottom lane base. He's at the inhibitor. They have 27 seconds on only 20 on Swiper. They need to recall, and that's all that AV is stopping. That's Baron stolen and an inhibitor taken.
Big win for Avant right now. This is massive. It didn't look like it was going to be after Alidoric got chunked, but here you are.
And Swaith flashes in, smites and ults at the same time as Syndra bursting. So the flashes come out. They just want to disengage. But the stopwatch timing prevents the combo. Alistar now useless in the rest of that fight for a few seconds. And they actually get the opportunity with no Yasuo there in the fight. No knock-up to set him up either. And they were pushing bottom. That's so unexpected.
And that's a hallmark of Avant. They will do things that make you think, wait a second, and they pull it off. So first inhibitor falls in the bottom in favor of Avant. All the craziness. The Baron comes onto a few members of Avant here. And Chiefs are still trying to control this tempo, but they lost out in that last engagement.
And we set the stakes at the start of this day amidst all of the paintings, so you may not remember the stakes.
Now let's get back to the
that we
stakes.
set, but let's reiterate it just one more time. If AV win this game, they're tied second with the Chiefs.
Yes, this is a battle to get into the top 2, which is massive considering where the expectations were and weren't for Avant at the start of this split. You know, I talked about both these teams kind of exceeding expectations, but Avant in a bigger way.
But there is still one big raid boss in the way, and that is Raze. He is the team fighting AD carry. Alidoric does get low, but survives. Raze has 1,000 bounties, 203. He's got 3 items done. If there's anyone for the Chiefs that will just hit this home, I mean, it's only 2,000 between them.
That's true. He has to catch them
do it.
first. That is the key here. Avant seem to be finding success by splitting Chiefs around the map.
And also Ayla when the flash is up. You know, it shouldn't be too far away. It's very hard to tell when he has Hex Flash the entire time, but when that's up, they have the team fight combo still. And, you know, you can't take away from the fact that the Chiefs have picked this comp knowing full well that they can just hit the big R button team fight off the back of Ayla's engage. And we have seen Ayla do it in the past.
Player keeps going in for the deletions, but he bites off a lot more than he can chew as Shock just turned on him on the return.
Yeah, that was actually a big cheater control there from Claire. Looks for an assassination, but even if he escaped, there was an Evelyn behind him. So keep that in mind as Shock just blasts his health bar, and now they're going to push for the mid-outer. I'm still shocked that this is the state of the game.
This is what's happening right now, Rusty. Believe it or not, 28 minutes. Avant, with the control on the map, start to push even further. They have the gold lead. They will extend it even further on the back of this stolen Baron buff.
They've even grouped Chippies up in this mid lane right now. They are pushing for the inhibitor as fast as possible. Look at Ayla. He's got a big flank. If AV overreach, he will punish the flashes available.
And they do want to sniff
and
for
he's on
this
the flank
inhibitor.
right now.
Let's see if he goes in, waiting for the cow. The inhib's going to fall. Not quite yet.
3
And in they
people.
go, closing the traps. That's the last breath. And Chiefs are looking for the big V here. Shock is finally going to fall down. And it's Swaith and Alidoric out of there. But Chiefs close the net.
And that's so big for the Chiefs. They get the momentum back in their favor. They get to push. Swaith is hunting. He may just try and catch the minion wave. So is Alidoric. And they're going to do exactly that. Maybe take away some minions.
That's
It
really
stops
smart.
the push. It's super smart. But the Chiefs got the team fight. And that's what matters most.
They left Claire back to clear waves here, but Avant trying to make the best of a bad situation. They did still get an inhibitor in the middle. I mean, that like
Actually
I keep saying bad situation, but Avant still got the objectives here. Here's the fight after it happened.
It's just an action-packed game. You know, the Righteous Glory hits the flash headbutt pole, 3 people. It's just pretty from the Chiefs. That's the team fight you're after. And Chippies turns around to try and trade, but Raze is far too big. But you're right, the inhibitor did go down. However, the Chiefs, they at least get a turret. That turret is huge because on the second Baron, if they win a team fight, it could be a single game-ending push. This game's still wide open, but the 2 inhibitors really does hurt the Chiefs.
It does. They're going to need to take a little bit of time to reset, try to push those waves out. They've got super minions already inside of their own base, and they'll need to send someone back to contend with it. It looks like it's Claire.
And the Spear of Jax has been completed for Chippies.
Oh, boy. Ooh,
We say
is it
3
the first
items.
time we get to see that item?
Trying
Trying to think.
Well, we've seen Khan do it in the LCK.
Yeah, okay, in the OPL
On
specifically, I
Fiora.
should have specified.
I'm not sure. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
It's been a while since you've seen a Fiora. We had a talk about the Spear of Jax the other day.
Spear of Shojin, for those
Yes,
wondering.
yes. Well, I mean, we also called it the Spear of
Whatever.
Shrug, and that if you're Spawn.
Shojin.
But yeah. And now it's been completed.
It's a big item now. It's called the Spear of Jax because one of those champions that, you know, if you activate your ultimate, you get a bunch of extra stuff from it, attack speed, etc., etc. Cooldown's reduced with every basic attack. Fiora does benefit a lot from it. Mentioned we've seen Khan with it to great success, but he was into a Silas, and he split pushed literally to victory. And that is a thing Fiora can very avidly do.
But Fiora can also team fight to an extent. We have seen that as Chippies was in the midst of these fights.
Oh, yeah.
That being said, Avant did overstep their bounds at the end there. That's what started to reset on this tempo. However, we got 20 seconds until the next Baron, and look at the Avant vision through the Chiefs jungle.
And I have a feeling we're going to see the same style once again. You will see Chippies planted in bot lane. You will see the Chiefs try and respond with Swiper as best he can. But he is a slow bleed style of opponent where, you know, you'll see the advantages.
Ooh,
That was an
Claire.
ult used.
That was It's not
Claire
the
is
longest
low.
cooldown ult for the Unleashed Power, but Claire can't be in this anymore.
But you will see the Chiefs group up and try and fight. That's their way into this game, is another big combo. Ayla has the Hex Flash, so it requires a bit of setup time. And from what you can see of AV here, they're throwing spells at the Baron, perhaps keeping it aggro, keeping the attention of the Chiefs here. But Claire is bottom.
He's going to stay for the 2v1 situation. All of a sudden, Avant sniffs something out here. They're going to back away from the Baron. We got to
Chippies
check in
is
with
in
the bottom,
trouble.
though. Chippy should be burning away right now, and he does get the dash on. Let's see if he makes his great escape. Claire going to try to cut him off at the pass as he dashes the wall. Going to be another hop. Blast Cone is going to not be used, and over the wall he goes!
He gets the riposte on the stun as well. Claire is going to long chase this one. It may go forever.
Now the darkness is
ult
on.
is
They're going to
in.
chase for it. This should be the kill onto Chippies. No teleport available, but there's a lot of
Teleport
members
by
already
Swiper,
invested.
though.
Swiper coming in. Avant get cold feet. They'll walk away. Scout of the week. The Baron resets.
This is huge.
Chiefs are going to go for it.
Yeah, they should just be able to start this Baron, but they don't know the health bars of AV. They don't know if this is a good decision. 40 seconds,
Look at
however,
mid
is a
lane.
long time.
You can see Swaith has just revealed himself in front of Only, or maybe he didn't. He just got really close, and now it's
Oh,
going
he
to be
revealed
Chiefs
himself. He charmed only.
starting up. Okay.
So they're going to disengage here. This Baron will go down very quickly. The Chiefs will get the objective.
They finally earned the Baron. They finally get the Baron. So all of this is a big win for Chiefs, who had been on the back foot due to some serious shenanigans by the Avant lineup.
Yeah, and good patience from the Chiefs. You know, 3 people hitting a Baron, being an Ezreal, a Syndra, and a Pyke, not exactly tanky enough to sit there and tank it forever. So the bait wasn't a legitimate threat. The only thing that was the turn.
Yeah. And Claire, I mean, props to him for realizing, wait a second, we can go and kill Chippies, and therefore there isn't the 5v5 threat anymore.
Who are they waiting for is the question,
Trying
AV.
to
The
death
minion
rush.
wave is pushing.
Swiper.
They're about to see the Renekton. I don't know if he saw Swaith. They're
Oh,
on.
he face checks in. That is a dead croc. That's a lot of damage on the Charm, and they will turn him into a pair of boots.
Gee, that took a while, though. Claire headbutts the wall really tragically. He's trying to keep vision. Nocturne has ultimate. He's just used it.
And they go in for the Ezreal immediately. He's going to Mystic Shot and Arcane Shift away. Claire.
Look at the Yasuo and Alistar, though. Nowhere to go for AV.
They're going to collapse here. Swaith is trying to get a kill onto Only. In the meantime, he pops the Guardian Angel here, and it's just everyone hunting for targets, looking for Gun Crab, Swaith, Alidoric. Who is it going to be? Raze is going to start off with 1, looking for those big picks. He gets the last breath. There's a shutdown, though. Chippies does manage to take down Only.
Chippies!
And it's just who can find who first. Chippies with the double kill, but he does not want to face off against Raze.
It was a 2-for-3 trade. 3 Chiefs are dead, 2 from AV are gone, but the Chiefs still have control. This is chaos.
It's a weird fight, and it's a weird game for sure, Rusty. Like, everyone has
eyes
the
can't-
capability of stepping up.
Your eyes can't go this many directions. It's so hard to keep track. I was watching the Yasuo side of this fight. Chippy's got a kill in the meantime. Gunkrab dies. So let's look at the Chippy's area here. As he's gone towards Only and Claire, he assassinates Only, I believe, on the backside here with his... Yep, riposte was used. So Claire actually going for Alidoric is the reason he dies. Maybe could have run away. Shock was there. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know.
Yeah, you just don't.
We're just
I mean,
gonna
you
go
can't
with-
necessarily analyze it, but at the end of the day, we've identified 2 major threats, 1 on each team. Yasuo, Fiora.
Yes, we have. We've also highlighted absolutely what the win conditions are. Chiefs also holding this wave, letting bottom build a little bit more. Letting their team get on the map a little bit more as well.
Yes. Raze is the only player not to have died this game. And
Raze
that's
is a
because
beast.
nobody wants to fight him.
And Yasuo in his current state is a very overburdening champion, let alone a 505 Yasuo with 4.5 items.
And he's played for Teamfight too. One of those items is a Maw of Malmortius. He's trying to avoid getting boomed.
Well, it's not just the Moris. He's got a QSS. He's got the
Yeah, that too.
materials, which is a big enabling thing for getting the ultimate off. Inhib does go down. A bit of Baron buff still left remaining for the Chiefs.
They
It's
will
got
go for the push.
opportunity here to push forwards. If they pressure AV into positional mistakes, it's possible, but we'll see how they play it out because Chippies is here.
They cut through turrets fast, but they're going to have to win the team fight if they want to make it. And they go in for the Evelyn, but it was a bait on the opposite side. However, Sway just didn't have the health bar to stay alive, and
dead.
Raze in the middle.
That
They're
could
going
be
to
game.
get 2, looking for even more here as Chippies tries to get the riposte on, but he can only find 1 target at a time. The last breath onto Guncrab, now turning their attention over to Shock the double kill, and it's Chippies trying to run interference, but he can't save the game. That's the team wipe. That's the ace. That's going to be the win for Chiefs.
Big team fight from the Chiefs. They'll get themselves the victory. It took 37 minutes almost, 36.5, but they get there in the end. How good is Raze at League of Legends?
What a beast. 806, the only unkilled player in the game, and Chiefs Esports Club step up big against the would-be challengers of Avant, but man, they had to earn every second of that.
A hard-fought battle, you're absolutely right. Every inch had to be earned. Every inch was punished that an overstep was seen. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs still get it. They still stay strong, but you could see the look of relief, the sighs on some faces as well. It was a hard-fought battle from the Chiefs.
Yes, really, really back and forth game. And Avant, just they threw every trick in the book, and several that just haven't been written down at Chiefs. And there were some really impressive plays from them. But at the end of the day, when it came straight up to the team fights, they didn't quite have the damage pound for pound, but they can definitely hold their heads high that they really took the Chiefs all the way to the finish line.
Two inhibitors were down. They had the gold lead. Like, they had the opportunities, and you'd never look at that game and say that AV never had a chance to win. You know, that's what you would take away from that game, and there are positives to look at. But the Chiefs still prove far too strong when it comes to the team fights. They pick a comp for it. Ayla comes up huge with the flanks as well. Bides his time. He's a very patient player in that regard. And for a rookie, he's having another fantastic split.
Yeah, and I want to credit Only as well for, you know, once again, really using the Nocturne Ultimate to the best to really try and scatter out Avant at the best times. And you could see they tried to make the most of those situations. They moved away. They didn't want to get caught up in the wombo of the Yasuo.
I mean, that's the thing. No matter how much vision you have, Nocturne presses Ultimate, you no longer have vision on the flank. And Alistar's able to get those. So the Nocturne pick comes up super crucial for the team as well, in terms of just being able to execute on that strategy.
All right, so Chiefs take the win. Let's go and send it back to our artist to hear more about it.
I have nothing of consequence to add to the discussion other than the fact that I feel like we need to start doing the facial features, which is my favorite bit of the night.
Agree.
But I will start the flower in the hair while you gentlemen talk us through the
You're going to do the flower in the hair.
You sound very...
Well,
no?
I had a look at the picture again.
Yeah. Probably a good idea. What'd you say?
Something.
I can't tell which one's which.
What do you mean? Really something.
I mean, I think we've done a pretty good job. But, I mean, we did just watch a game of League of Legends. We can paint in a couple of minutes. Chiefs end up pulling the victory. I feel like this game... was Chiefs' game from very early on, you know? Like, Swaith was 0-3 on an E very early in this game. LeBlanc was opening up the map. Like, you had stuff like this all across the board, but it really was like that Baron that was absolutely disastrous.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't. I mean, when you lose a Baron, as well as your jungler's life, as well as a bottom lane inhibitor...
Yeah, it feels bad.
I think disaster is an apt way to put it. However, there was kind of... it just must feel real nice having an 80 carry like Race. Like, that's all I'm going to say, because it felt like... He didn't die this game, I don't think. And it felt like every single team fight, he was like, can I get my way in? No? All right, well, I'll just kill enough people that they can't end the game. And next time, I'm going to get you. Yeah. And then, like, eventually, like, enough of his teammates, because the thing about Yasuo 80 carry is, like, you do need setup, because you're not going to be 1-3-1ing with him. You're probably going to be team fighting with him. Yeah. So you do need setup, but finally enough of the teammates were able to provide that setup in the last team fight, and then he just, like, destroys everyone.
Yeah, because there's, like, a few clutch moments, right? Like, Chiefs were winning, and for me, it's like, it is their game. Swaith steals a Baron with, like, the execute smite damage, and that is, like, huge swing play. All of a sudden, like, a 1-3-1 comp where you have a Fiora in the side lane, or not 1-3-1, more like 1-4, but opens up Chippy's life so much having a Baron buff. But then, like, that flank, the, like, Marta-esque flank from Ayla, that then, like, Swaith took the game from Chiefs, and then Ayla just immediately takes it back. It's like a glory rush Alistar, which is a confidence move, right? Like, he has the righteous glory to force these plays, and then gets behind everyone, triple knock up, triple Yasuo into the backline, Swipers flashing in. It's like, it's these plays that I feel like Chiefs on an individual level, like, make weird moves, but they're always going in at, like, the exact same time, and it's why they are such, like, a clutch team. Rusty was saying it on the cast, like, it's not often you see them, like, lose a Baron and struggle to close out, but it is, like, these sort of things that makes them such a formidable opponent.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, they are 100% a team with the same voice. You know, we said at the start of the year, looked like Mammoth didn't have that one voice, didn't have that one leader. I think you can make the criticism right now that Order don't have, like, one voice and are split on calls. But the thing that has always been impressive about Chiefs in the last 2-3 years is that when they make a decision, they're going for it.
Yeah.
Like, they hit their buttons and they're all going in, and hell or high water, like, whether it works or doesn't work, you can't say they didn't commit to the play. And I think that that's why so many of the plays work. Yeah. Because then you force a team to, are we fighting back? Are we running? Like, which way? If we are running, are we running backwards? Are we running to the left? Are we run, like, and then they make the mistake, and the Chiefs are just like, seek hero, kill hero, push forward. And I think that that's just such a decisive thing. I do, however, want to talk quickly before we throw to the interview about Barons.
Yeah.
Because I feel like at the moment, in the OPL, lots of Barons are getting stolen.
Yeah.
Not a few. We only play 8 game a weekend, and we've had 2 or 3 every weekend. That is a large portion of the Barons. So, Pinkwood the Pit, ward behind the pit, hit the blast cone.
Yep.
And if the jungler walks up, support and mid laner, go get him. I don't care how you do it. You just have to go get him. Headbutt him away. Pulverize him into the ground. Distort over the wall. Throw some spells at him. Do something. Don't let him waltz up to the Baron pit and then just flash in and just steal it. It happens so many times. And, you know, I do this for every other team apart from when you're playing Order and then just let the Syndra walk up to the Baron pit. But something needs to change, Bryce. Like, too many damn Barons are being stolen.
It's the easiest way to end a game. Just do it. Just do it properly.
Oh, I think it's my turn now to throw the desk.
Great, thanks. I'm joined by Ayla. I want to ask your opinion on this. Why do you think there's so many of these like Baron steals happening in the OPL, not just with your team?
I definitely think it's on the players to step up, like on the support. It's usually on the support and jungle to stop the jungler, and I think they just don't fulfill their role.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, it just seemed really crazy. Like that game in particular, how do you like? How can you even begin to like describe the way that Avant play?
It was pretty worrisome. They kept on killing our side lanes, especially LeBlanc, and felt like the game was going out of our control. But we eventually pulled it together. So
you did. Talk to me about a little like how you managed to do that, because Chiefs, it just seems, have this like iron will of like, no, we will follow our game plan to the end of it. What keeps you guys together in these crazy moments?
It's probably our trust in each other. We just decide on a call and we all commit on it, and I think it works well for us. So it's just trusting each other. Yeah, you're a big part of that as well. Like, you're the one who's going into the back and getting the flanks on the Alistar like all the time. Are you the one actually making those calls, or like who's actually like setting up these plays in the team? Yeah, I make the call because I know that if we just let them push on us, then we'll probably lose the game. So as an Alistar, I just have to pull the trigger and get an engage off. That's great, and good to see it. So going forward for Chiefs, like, how's the mood in the camp? You guys have had a couple of like close calls. You've obviously picked up a couple wins here. Are you feeling very confident going towards the third round robin? Not confident. We still have a lot of things to work on, but we're definitely getting there. Fair enough. Speaking of people who have things to work on, there's a painting going on. Let's send it back over to the couch.
Okay, so this is my favorite part of the whole